Alrighty, welcome back to CCS Season 7, presented by the Sideline Sports Network. I'm your host, Nation Arnold, back for tonight. Another game as you missed earlier's action. Syracuse knocked off number 10 Virginia Tech in Game 5, who also just lost on an alternate broadcast to unranked NC State in Game 5, where they were reverse swept by the Wolfpack. As Virginia Tech will finish their season 6-2 in the ACC. Now Purdue 6-0 in the, or 7-0, sorry. And the Big Ten takes on number 3 Indiana in the Big Ten. They're 7-1. Purdue is number 2. So a win tonight would secure potentially first place in the Big Ten, as Purdue and Maryland still go into war for the fight for first. Indiana can get a win and get into second place. Here is both teams are ready. Indiana sitting 7-1, currently third place in the Big Ten standings. Purdue sitting at 7-0 in second place. Looking for win number 8. A win tonight for Purdue locks in the conference tournament double bye. Indiana can win and then get some help later on this week, and they've got themselves a double bye secured as well. As 4:50 left to go, Game 1 is underway, and the Hoosiers are going to strike first with MSC 10 seconds in. As Indiana gets the scoring started here in game number 1. Indiana back in CCS for the first time since the spring semester. Just about a year ago, they went to the Final Four. Now Purdue coming off a round of 16 appearance. Pablo makes it 2-0, 4:38 to go, and the Hoosiers lead by 2. 4:38. Plenty of time still to play, but it's an early start here for Indiana, who leads by 2 with just 22 seconds off the clock. So now Indiana again leading by 2, Purdue trailing. Undefeated 7-0 in conference. Indiana has one loss that came to Game 5 to Michigan State back in, I believe it was week 2 or 3. There for Indiana, who fell in a thrilling Game 5 series. But just last week, Purdue swept Michigan State, but tonight it's Indiana up by 3, not even a minute in, against Purdue. Indiana ranked 18th, taking on number 14 Purdue. It's a 3-0 total destruction, just 51 seconds in. Purdue's offense still yet to get on the board. Bill Fires turned away by Coda. As these two programs have met a handful of times in the past in CCS, Indiana going to lead that series. I'm not quite sure what the exact score, but I know Indiana has defeated Purdue a lot more than I've seen Indiana beat Purdue, or Purdue beat Indiana. So I know this rivalry game is heavily favored by Indiana, but right now Purdue ranked higher than Indiana. But tonight it's been all Indiana so far, 3.5 in here in Game 1 at 3-0 with 90 seconds gone. .315 left to go. Now Indiana's still trying to hang on tight to a win here tonight with 2 minutes off the clock. MSC trying to snipe a fourth, no good, wide left. As Bill would clean that one up in due time for Purdue. Just half the game nearly gone. Pablo flip a reset, can't get to it in time. MSC turned wide. Rebound for Coda into the corner. It's good for a fourth. .246 to go, and Coda from up top times to goal 4. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left. Purdue trailing by 0-4 here. Not the start Purdue we're hoping for. There's one playing, gonna get it off the pickoff. 2:42 to play, and Purdue have their first goal of the night here. Once again, for those watching at home, Purdue 7-0 in the Big Ten. Indiana 7-1. This is their final game of league plays. The Big Ten adopted a 9-game league schedule this season, so you get to play that extra game, which puts Indiana and Purdue up in the last game of the season, as Purdue plays Wisconsin on Thursday, 9 Eastern, to wrap up their regular season. But right now, Indiana next in line for the Boilermakers. Gio, unfortunately, Dronis has a real-life broadcasting gig now, and unfortunately, he's not able to be here as often or really much anymore. He's too busy and doing his thing, what he loves doing, so we're all happy for him. But we do miss him dearly in this broadcast, and unfortunately, he's not here tonight. But he's doing big broadcasting stuff at the collegiate level, so we're happy for him. But 2-minute warning here in Game 1, and Purdue trailing 4-1. Minute 48 to go. Purdue looking for two. It's a duck, but Pablo turns that one wide, as the Hoosier offense has gone to work in Game 1. But again, Purdue didn't get the start they needed, but things have leveled out here for Purdue since the opening minute, where they allowed 4 goals to come through. But since then, 0 goals allowed in the last 3 minutes, which is good news for Purdue. But again, Indiana still threatening to score an opportunity for 5 there. Duck going to turn him wide. Indiana still held at bay, down 1-4 is Purdue, though. Time starting to tick out for the Boilermakers. You know what, Gio? That's straight up facts. But unfortunately, Jonas is getting paid big money to go work, and I unfortunately can't match that. So he's working soccer, volleyball, and some water polo for a couple of colleges out in the LA area, and doing some D1 stuff at Pepperdine. So good on him. But 50 seconds. Lot to go here in Game 1. As Indiana, utter domination here in Game 1. If things just didn't go the way Purdue to open things up here in Game number 1. But it's a long series. Two teams have gone to war several times. I don't think either side should be quite concerned with what they saw in Game 1. But 30 seconds left. Indiana want one more. Pablo, an open lane with Duck, and Bill racing back will make the save. Rebound. MST is no good. Thrown wide by Pablo. That was playing on the save. There's 14 seconds left. And Indiana going to wrap up Game 1, barring an absolute miracle here, which they should not have occurred. There's going to be 2. Playing makes it good for 4-2. There's still time on the clock. Four seconds to go. There's 4 seconds left. There's still time on the clock, but got to be a miracle for Purdue. They're not going to get it. Indiana 4-2 the final in Game 1. That'll wrap things up after 5. Indiana lead 1-0. It's Game 1 of the old Oaken Bucket goes to Indiana here. On to Game 2 now, Purdue. Gonna look to battle back after an unfortunate start, down 0-4, just 43 seconds in. So this is a rivalry week here in CCS. You missed out on last night's Army-Navy game. Army won that one in 5, defeating the Midshipmen in a thrilling 5-game set. But tonight's had quite the action as well. I got that from online. I talked about it last night in the podcast, going through a lot of the bigger rivalry games this week, but it's 4 seconds in. This time it's Purdue on the opening kickoff. It's 4 seconds into Game 2, and Purdue lead us after the opening kick. Indiana, though, 1-0 up in the best of 5. Purdue going to look to equalize that score here after 10 minutes, but now MST over 1. And quickly sent to the corner. Indiana, though, still deep in goal territory, as Plain trying to find Bill. He'll get the clear upfield in the opening 30 seconds, all but favoring Purdue. Both these two teams have had quite the night. They both played in the Bluegrass Booth Battle Open qualifiers. I believe they have both got to round the losers, round 4, I believe. Gio, I'd love to have that happen, but unfortunately I get egoed by that most of those schools, so it's just been really difficult to make it actually happen. I did try about a year ago. I'm thinking about trying again, but the 2 times I've tried, I've been very hardly egoed, so I'm just kind of a little concerned trying to make it happen. But again, I do want to. It's on my list of things I want to do, but it's difficult. And getting through to some of these teams and programs to come compete is difficult. But again, I'll try. I want to try again, but I just haven't really gotten much ground over there. But I'd love to make it happen. But anyway, back to action here. 3:45 left to play in game 2. It's 3:38, and again, Indiana, after last game, I mean, they dominated Purdue. Looking for answers here that they found so far 90 seconds in, but yeah, Valpo and Northern Iowa, I believe, were the 2 that seemed interested. I think Murray State was also interested, but we were egoed pretty hard by Evansville and Drake, Indiana State, and whoever else is the team. I don't remember the 8 team I reached out to, but UI Chicago maybe was another new school right now, so that helps the number a little bit. 3:06 though to go in game 2. But I'll reach out to you guys probably sometime mid-November about spring if I decide to do it, but I am hoping I can make it happen. But 3 minutes to go here in game number 2. It's playing to equalize to make it a double 2-0 lead, and now equalization in this series. 2:50 away here. Now, I did see a lot of new schools got teams this year, so I am really excited to open up this recruiting lane and for the spring, because my goal this year is 200 teams, and I think I'm going to be dang near close to that this spring. I tried to get to this fall, didn't quite make it, as Pablo makes it 2-1. I got to 175, so I got about a quarter away off 200, and I want to get to 200, and I think adding obviously a lot of new schools and a couple of new conferences would make that a little easier, but it is difficult. But I am going to try. That's something I want to do, and appreciate you asking about it. But 2:30, we're halfway through game 2. Indiana, Purdue, still just a 1-goal ball game. Coda trying to make it equal, but we'll come away with a save there is plain. And it's 2:20, and this Purdue offense has found their rhythm in game 2. Both teams coming out playing the Bluegrass Boost Battle Open qualifiers. They've had a long night. Indiana just lost to Kennesaw State. And I believe Purdue lost to Indiana Tech B or Burton Parker, one of the 2. You've both played a couple of really good teams tonight. Now just another really good opponent on the other side of the field for Purdue and Indiana. These 2 teams have had their way with each other in the past. For more so speaking, Indiana dominating Purdue in this CCS series, but in Purdue tonight looking for, I think, potentially their first win against Indiana in CCS. I think every time I've watched them play, it's been all Indiana. There's 80 seconds left and some change to go. Game 2 a lot closer than game 1 after the utter destruction we saw in game 1, but that doesn't need to be talked about no longer as Purdue trying to look ahead here. So a win in game 2, about 75 ticks to play. Yeah, I'm talking about the CCS series just in itself. Every time they've competed in CCS together, I'm fairly certain Indiana has dominated this series. I can't even remember the last time Purdue's beaten them, so they might not have ever beaten them. I'll have to look after this is over. With 45 seconds left, Indiana trailing 1. But it is a fun series to watch always with it. Purdue and Indiana, these 2 teams are always very good. And it's always usually a very competitive series. When it comes to these bigger games, Indiana knows how to get it done. It's Pablo, 2-all. 25 seconds, and Pablo goes sky high for a double to make it 2-all. .25 to go. Both teams tied at 2. Indiana goal all would secure A game of 3-2-0 lead, but Plain puts the Boilermakers back in front 18 seconds, and Purdue just 7 seconds later turn in a response. "13 seconds, Pablo dunked by Plain of Hill, trying to kill some clock here. Plain trying to feed Bill. There's a 4. That should wrap up game 2. 5 seconds to go. Indiana going to be in a 5-second drill, trailing 2. Maybe they get something off the kickoff, leave a second left to make some magic happen, but we'll see here. Kickoff number 7 as Purdue leads 4-2 after 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And Indiana not going to get it off the kickoff. That'll wrap it up. Game 2 goes to Purdue. We're tied at 1. Eight shots to Purdue, just 4 to Indiana. Double the shot category and double in the goal category as well. So that's going to make up your difference here in game 2. Plain goes for 3 for 6. 50% shooting, gets the MVP at 6:03. Now Purdue able to get this series back to level 1-all. The best of 3 down the stretch. The Boilermakers get a much needed win as they'll look to stay undefeated at 7-0. When would be win number 8 of the season for Purdue. Indiana looking for win number 8 as well to wrap up their regular season. A double bye still in the cards for the Hoosiers. A loss tonight puts that double bye spot out of their hands as Michigan State and Illinois, UCLA, and Maryland all still fighting as well for spots. Still a lot of results still to come later on this week to determine your double bye. It's Maryland, the only team so far to secure 8-0. They'll take on Wisconsin later on this week alongside Purdue playing Wisconsin later on Thursday night. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Pablo goes high over 1, trying to force the dunk. It's no good. Plain will find the save. And Shogun is a little loud, but you know what? It's fine. It's worth it for Shogun. His voice is loud. He's a good commentator, so I'll let his voice stay loud. As Bill trying to turn away Pablo, there's the opener. 3:58. The Hoosiers lead by 1. Pablo from Kodemeister gets the feed, 1-0. There for Indiana. 1:02 gone. Indiana from Bloomington, Indiana. Purdue from West Lafayette. MSC into a double attempt, no good. Rebound is Pablo, turned wide left. Indiana still deep in goal territory. There's the clear for Duck. MSC wants one more look. Flip reset, turned wide by Bill. And Purdue hang on tight for now as Coda fires wide to left. The rebound for MSC is going to trickle in. The save is made for Plain. Will keep Purdue unscathed for now. The score remains 1-0 for Indiana. 3:13 to go. Plenty of clock still to play. Don't have to be desperate if you're Purdue quite yet here in Game 3 as both these two teams want to win this series and beat a crosstown rival as much as the next man, but right now Indiana is still hanging neck and neck with Purdue here so far through 12 minutes. That's a whiff that's unordinary. Now Pablo turned away by Duck. MSC beats the last defender. Plain's going to make a touch and will. So this one will stay out of the gold net for now. Halftime in game number 3, 1-0, still the score for Indiana through one half of play. Purdue trying to work their magic here for goal 1. They get a look down the low. Plain wasn't ready off the pass, and Indiana to thank their lucky stars that this series is still 1-0 in Game 3 after a couple of good looks late there by Purdue. Given a warning in Game 3, Pablo for a bump there, Bill's in trouble. Good save for Duck. Skoda trying to drop it through. Pablo fires wide to right for Pablo there. Now Duck trying to turn this one away here. It's good 50 there for Pablo. Koda trying to get there in time. Bill turns it wide. 90 seconds left to play. Indiana still lead 1. So now you start to panic a little bit. If you are Purdue, there's a good demo. We're going to open up an opportunity here as played. Going to feed Dunk off a pass to the kill in the backfield for MXT. Pablo, rebound, shots good. 2-0, 111. Indiana lead by 2 with a 1 to cross the clock. Blaine nearly got to the shot attempt there, but unfortunately for him, didn't make any contact. It's 2-0. Indiana a minute and some change away from a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. As Pablo puts in a third, 104. That was perfectly timed. For so good. This is Rocket League. 104 to go. I just had to feel like, yeah, I gotta let this one go. 104, 3-0 here in Game 3.
Into the final stretch.
55 to go. Blaine gonna turn that one away now. We'll feed Duck into the back corner here. Purdue now really in desperation mode as they trail by 3. 45, and this clock gonna tick ever so fast on the Boilermaker offense. Is Blaine looking for a double here. Couldn't turn that one into midfield. And Indiana again will run more time off this precious clock that Indiana has used so vitally in this series, and they've been fairly efficient at running out the clock in the later half of this game. And Bill and Purdue just have had nothing in answer, just like Game 1. They're shut out with 20 seconds to go. As that fourth is going to go in, Koda makes it 4-0. "15 seconds left to go. 4-0 goes the score for Indiana. Clock starts to tick. Indiana gonna let this clock tick down. Purdue gonna face a shutout in Game 3. Now Indiana leads the series 2-1. It's 5-0 the final.
A crushing defeat.
Across the Big Ten, Wisconsin defeats Minnesota in 3 for the Paul Bunyan and Dax Trophy. Wisconsin gets that big win and will stay alive in the race for a bye. It's Indiana 5-0 final score here. On to Game 4. Indiana can take the series. Alright, Game 4, Purdue gonna look to force a Game 5 and be 4 series on stream in a row to go to Game 5 if Purdue get there. After Virginia Tech and Syracuse did earlier, Army, Navy last night, USC and UCLA did it last night, as now MST and Indiana trying to win this in 4, not let Purdue see the light of Champions Field here. Purdue starts out Game 4 with possession. I'm in the red half here, playing fires and scores 1-0. And Purdue, just like that, get out of the shutout At 4:35 left to go in Game 4. They were shut out in Game 3, and they started Game 4 out hot. It's 1-0. Pablo fires the open corner, crossbar down and out. Bill off the save. MST rebound, bricked it wide right. Coda rebound turned away by Bill. And Purdue hang on unscathed for now. MST one more look here. Has help. Pablo couldn't force it. And Purdue still unscathed. A good kill in the backfield, release some pressure. That's given to Pablo. Silver platter. The Duck lost connection. Got to pause as we lost Duck. We're going to get this clock in kick reset here after Duck. We lost connection. The media pause here is his game crash. I'm going to reset the clock to kick off here real fast. Looks like Duck is back in the lobby. Good news. And we're back to 4:03. Back to kickoff. 1-0 Purdue. As Duck crashed and he's back in the lobby. That'll at least give some pressure off of Purdue as they were getting swarmed. Prior to that crash, looks like he did crash before. And Indiana built the pressure, and now they're back to midfield and level at 1-0, 3:45 to go. Pablo, good. Round 2, round 3. Pablo, overall 3, 1-1. Playing just was in no man's land. There was no way he was touching that ball, and Pablo puts it right past the goalie. 1-1. 3:36 to go. Purdue in a must-win scenario here in Game 4. Flip reset for Plain, trying to go under and fake it. Pablo turns it wide. Duck gets fed a silver platter. It's 2-1. 3:27, and that goal was put in a silver platter there for Duck. Pablo drops it straight through Dakota. He had no boost. Duck pouncing right on top of it, and the Boilermakers lead by 1. Good delayed kickoff there. Purdue back with possession here. Snapshot MST. A big time save. Plain gonna combine for the save there, and that's big time save by a big time player to keep this series going for Purdue. 3 minutes on the clock to play. Indiana still trailing 1. MST in the backboard, have some help. Pablo turned away by Bill. But Indiana offense not done yet here as Pablo and MST await in the backfield as Purdue trying to break the pressure and has not done so yet here. So MST now next to challenge. We'll trickle back here. Duck. Court center, MST trying to feed pressure into the gold side here. Now Pablo on a solo attempt, no good. Coda with possession, met by Bill. Pablo around 1 already, over a second. Gonna look for a double here, couldn't turn that one in. Coda fires to the upper corner, no good. As Bill gonna pinch that one out of harm's way. That shot on target, will it go? It won't. Coda off the save. Purdue remain ahead by 1. And a couple of really great looks on both sides of the field. Both come away with nothing. And it's Indiana and Purdue remain at 2-1 with 1:48 to go. 100 seconds and change here in game number 4. Plain with no booth. That one's going to go through. Pablo 2-all. 129. The crossbar is putting it to work right now. That fourth defender needs to get on scholarship ASAP. This series could have been well over by now. The crossbar is keeping both these two teams alive. as it's 2-0 with a minute 26 to go. Saw Purdue answer back fast. That's an open net. Pablo 3-2, minute 19. And the cherry pick works out for Pablo. 1:19 to go. There's 6:79 seconds on the clock to play here. Now Purdue, their undefeated season in jeopardy, down by 1 in what is an elimination game, at least in terms of their undefeated regular season. Gotta win this game to see a Game 5 and keep that unbeaten streak alive here. But all these teams know they play a very difficult schedule in conference, and one loss is one loss. It's not the end of the world, as the Big Ten should see a good chunk of bids to the national tournament. Again, seeding is very important though, because those double byes are crucial to a team's success. And that conference tournament is no easy feat as well. A lot of really good teams going to fight for a title. Maryland, Indiana, Illinois, Purdue. The list goes on. Here with 25 seconds. So that one's going to go in. Purdue able to tie. 20 seconds left. And Bill going to keep Purdue alive for now. Demo there for playing Purdue. Open break, Duck trying to race there. The shot will go 4-3, 14 seconds, and Purdue lead by 1. Purdue trying to stay alive and send us to Game 5. Eight to play. Indiana got to get one here. And they're going to go to Game 5. Plain lets that one go. Coda fires and scores. We're tied. And Indiana, with just 14 seconds on the clock, get a look they like, and Coda makes it count. We're tied at 4. Off the kickoff, that one dead. We got overtime in Game 4. Indiana with goal with a lock in and win, and the old Oaken bucket game. Purdue can send us to Game 5 with his score. Is Indiana can you finish it off here? And Indiana's good. They're going to win 3-1. And Indiana defeat Purdue 3-1. The old Oaken bucket goes to Indiana. I mean, I am right there with you. Neither team, I don't think, wanted to win. But Indiana gets it done in 4. Well, anyway, thank you guys for all watching. We will see you guys tomorrow for more CCS Season 7 action. The regular season closes up this week, so we'll see y'all with more action tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and watching. We'll catch y'all later.